Forgot to add myself to the stream. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Submission Fishing Live. I'm your host, Muto. Glad you can join us. We're all here on our quest to get our black belts in fishing, myself included. A long ways to go. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Thursday. We almost made it, guys. Got some stuff to talk about today. You guys can see the main topic. Is it the best time in San Diego right now to go fishing ever? Is it the best time in San Diego history? Coach Worf, I see you in the chat. I think he disagrees. Somebody told me it was, so that's why we'll talk about it a little bit. Talk about some weather patterns, what it means, what we got going on out there. So it's an interesting topic, interesting conversation. Well, it's pretty good. It's pretty good right now. So we'll talk about it. I'm curious what you guys think. Give you guys my opinion and what to prepare for in the future. See who we got now is Big Water Yak Fishing. What's going on? Aaron, welcome. Oos. Glad to see you in here, man. I feel like it's been a couple weeks. Number one at that. Welcome back. Spamming those emotes. That's what I like to see. Coach Worf TV. Best ever. Maybe not, but pretty damn good. Needless to say, Oos, giving you some view time if I can, but I got to pick up my kids in North County. No problem, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you get the rewatch. Spinning Rod Rebel Marvin. Oos, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. Let's see who else we got in here. Worf TV again. Yeah, he's not having it. He's saying, yeah, we'll go over all this. Just a few years back, Black Skipjack rated OB in the IB Pier. Some guys in North County got some on flies from the beach. We got some bad RNG with the wind event last year. Yeah, that's true. When the Dorado were at the 3 miles, it could have been epic. Could have been. Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah, last year was tough for the Dorado. We'll talk about all that stuff. That's what I was looking for. Enjoy the show tonight. And no, this is not the best fishing ever in SD. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. Man, that's crazy. It must have been some good years out there. It's pretty good. Cave Dog, Cal, welcome to the show. Oos, Carl Black, Oos, let's go. That's right. Glad you could join us. So we got in here. Puhukai, Oos, welcome back. Glad you could join us. John Escobar, Oos, welcome. Good to see you as always. Oh, Coach is still in here. Oh, he's out. All right, guys, I'm out. All right, dude, we'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Doug Ruben El Sueño, Oos, welcome to the show. Doug, I'm curious if you got out there. Graham, Oos, welcome. Dondo's Fishing, what's going on, man? What's good? Same stuff, dude. Just living the dream. Let's see. Leonard, Oos, welcome to the show. Fishing Reps, Oos, welcome to the show. Salty Bastards, what's happening, dude? Welcome. Glad you could join us. Michael Tran, Oos, welcome. Captain Dan, where the heck am I this time? Yeah, where are you this time? You're in Maryland. You're Chesapeake Bay. Oos, can't wait to get my boat out when I get back for the day. Yeah, man. Now's the time. Cryptocurrency. Good evening, crypto. I haven't, what do you, Bitcoin? Ethereum? I'm sure you'll let us know. Let's see here. We got anybody else? Fernando Seus, what's going on, dude? Welcome. Your screen isn't loading. Hopefully it's just yours. John Courtwright, welcome to the show. Glad you can join us. Dondo's Fishy, any word on how La Jolla has been doing with all the madness going on? I'm not too sure because I haven't heard. Nobody's really been at La Jolla. You know, it's like most of the bite. I guess we can get into some of the topic. I've got news and all that stuff I guess we can talk about. But you can see the question was, is this the best fishing in San Diego ever? So Kevin Nakata had brought that up. That's why I brought it up, and it got me thinking. So he went out fishing. He's been out fishing a lot. And you guys see everybody. You guys are on Instagram, all that stuff. People are killing it. And what's crazy is I had to think about it. Like, is this the best time to fishing? I mean, probably since I've been in San Diego, like the last 10 years or something. I mean, Coach says no way, not a chance. But I can't remember a time when the Dorado, like there's thousands of Dorado, like literally hundreds of thousands of Dorado, like just in between here in the 9, and they're up in Newport. I mean, they're freaking everywhere. But not only that, you've got the Dorado, you've got the bluefin, you've got the yellowtail. Like, I don't think I can remember where I've seen like such a vast array of like quality fish at once. And usually when you get what's weird is when you said it's the best fishing in San Diego, you have to ask the question, like, is it? I don't really have the answer. Like I said, I haven't fished here. I've only lived here maybe 12 years in the area. So I'm not one of these guys that has fished like 50 years. But in the time that I've been fishing offshore out here in San Diego, the last 10 years, it's pretty good. It was crazy seeing like the bluefin are still here, right? So normally when the Dorado come in, it's like, that's it. The Dorado are here, the Mahi Mahi show up, and then you don't get any bluefin bite. But it's crazy seeing bluefin still mixed in with the Dorado, mixed in with the yellowtail, mixed in with the yellowfin, and it's been nuts, man. I mean, the people out there have just been freaking absolutely crushing it. Um, and I know Coach was disagreeing. Coach has probably seen some better years, but I mean, you tell me what you guys think. Let you guys catch up in the chat, but it's been pretty insane. If you guys haven't been out there, definitely get on a boat, get on a half day. I mean, you don't even have to go far; they're just right there. Big delay? Is it just me? I'm not sure. Are you live, Graham? You might have check your settings. Make sure you hit the live button. Sometimes if it's messed up, you might see. Yeah, so we'll get into that. Gabe killing it at La Jolla. Yeah. There's probably Dorado in La Jolla. There probably is. The way it's been right now, it's freaking crazy. Salty Dangler Oos, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us. Salty in the house. Don Nap, he says La Jolla was slow last weekend. Don, welcome. Glad you could join us. It's interesting. Yeah, I haven't been to La Jolla in probably like a month or so. It's hard to say. Fernando says multi-species stuff is crazy, but I've seen better bluefin fishing. Yeah, I guess you would put that into account, right? Like, is it? I guess it's your perspective, right? If you're just a bluefin guy, I'm sure there's been better bluefin years. But if you're a multi-species guy, I guess they're everywhere, right? Dorado and all that other stuff. It's crazy though, man. It's been good for sure. Differences is the blues are a lot bigger. Yeah, freaking giants out there, man. Jesse Bermet, I just signed up for submission at sea. Will be my first offshore targeting something other than bottomfish. Any tips on gear and such to bring? Jesse, dude, that's freaking awesome. I already knew because I did see you sign up, but yeah, that's totally cool. I would say we'll probably do a show before, like for to make sure you've got all the right gear and setup. We'll also know what's out there biting. Right now, it's kind of like a 20 to 40 pound. Definitely something that you can throw an iron on, or some jigs. So like when I'm throwing the assassins, like the 60 grams, probably like an M1 inshore, something that's like designed to throw like a 2-gram jig, 3-gram jig. I would say a jig stick, where you can throw some surface irons, some kickers and stuff, and then probably a heavy setup. If we do get into the tuna, I don't think we'll be night fishing, so you probably don't need the big setup, but I'd say bring a 20-pound setup and a 40-pound setup. And if you've got one in between, that's good. Something to fly line a bait. I would say 20 to 40 pound for sure. And on that thing, I would put like your 20 to 30 pound setup, probably a 300 to 400 size bait caster, either a Tranks or the Penn Fathom, Akuma Komodo, anything like that. And then same thing on a jig stick. I run a Fathom 15, the open face one. A lot of guys like the Tranks 500, something like that. And if you're not comfortable with that, something to fly line bait. So even a heavy spinning reel I think works good for fly lining bait. And that's basically just a big, 2-0 or 1-aught or 2-aught circle hook, and you should be good to go. But yeah, once we get in closer down to the timeline, we'll definitely do like a what you should bring, what you need to bring, all that good stuff. So we'll make sure you got it. Let's see here. Yeah, Kevin says fishing's insane. They're literally 10,000 fish Dorado schools on the patties. Yeah, man, I've heard it's been freaking nuts. Let's see. Just catching up on the chat. Sorry, guys. Since I have the baby, I don't have Jessica anymore. She used to like feed the chats to me, so I just got to read them. Dorado and Newport Beach. Yeah, dude, they're freaking killing them. They're not far, man. I'm talking like I'm seeing pictures and posts from these captains like legit like 3 miles offshore. 3-4 miles. Like you don't even have to go far. They're freaking all over the place. They're in San Diego, offshore Newport. They're just going nuts right now. Fishing reps. Oh man, this is the tea right here. This is what I'm talking about. I'm disagreeing with Coach, This is fishing is the best in a long time. I think Coach has been around for a long time though, but he's probably seen some stuff. He was talking about different species that we probably don't see. Maybe in like the modern era, it's definitely pretty good. Just basing that off of like last couple years, like last year really wasn't that good. I know he was talking about the wind kind of blew him out, but Dorado never even really showed up last year. I still need to get a yellow or a dodo this season. Dude, this is the season. You can go on a half day boat right now. You want to guarantee just go on like a day boat and you'll get a yellow and a Dorado probably in the same trip. Man, it's crazy. The sound is like 2 to 3 seconds after your video. You guys all getting that? I don't know if I know how to fix it. Let's see. Oh, crypto, my man. You're an actual person. I thought you were a spam bot. That's the name. Has anyone tried a big rattle trap for these tuna? They swim with a tight wiggle like the Mad Max. I haven't personally. I'm sure somebody in here probably has. Heading out on 1.5 day tomorrow. Heading south. Plan to limit on Dorado, yellowtail, then search for yellowfin tuna. They're starting to show. That's where the yellowfin are still so sparse. Kayak Dorado, yeah, that'd be sick. They seem to be a little too far, but I think if you paddled off La Jolla and just went far enough, you can probably get them. I mean, because they're already at the 9, and it's like, I mean, of course that's 9 miles, but they're closer than that even. Like I said, Newport's finding them. I bet actually, Jess, if you launched off Newport and went west, I bet you can get on one on a kayak for sure. Bluefin, Dondo's Fishing said, Bluefin will still be around later, but I just have to take advantage of Dorado while we can before they leave. Yeah. And you know what's interesting, Dondo's, is that's like that's a new thing too. Like the bluefin sticking around like year round. That's not like really a thing. It happened last year. Last year they stuck around all year, and then this year it looks like it's the same thing. So I mean that's freaking crazy. Having year-round bluefin, I mean, that's huge. I don't think they ever left. They left kind of in the winter, but they only just went west. Like they were still within range for people that were willing to get them, on like a day and a half boat or something like that. It wasn't like they just disappeared out of range, and then they came back pretty fast too, which is crazy. Dolphin just got Dorado on a half day boat. Yeah, they're not far, man. They're not far at all. That's what I'm saying. A half day boat. I mean, now's the time. It's the volume, not the species. Okay. The volume of the fish is beyond comprehension. If you aren't saying that, then you haven't fished this bite yet. I haven't seen it yet. I've just seen the pictures and stuff like that. That's crazy. Yep, same issues with the sound. I'll try to unplug my mic real quick and plug it back in. Did that fix anything, or is it still janky? You need to go offshore fishing now. Tell him, Kevin. 3 to 4 miles out is kayakable for Dorado. Last weekend, the fog in Newport was too dangerous. Yeah, they're out there, though. Let's see here. No bala off the fish. Who you got, Gordon or Gaval? I think Gordon, right? Like he's the dude is. I think it's just his time. I think Gaval's a little too old. He's still good, but I just, you know what I mean. I feel like it's kind of the passing of the torch, but you never know. But Gordon, I think it's his time. If you guys don't know, it's a jujitsu question. So if you don't follow the sport, I totally understand. We won't waste too much time on that. The bluefin were at the banks up until the north boats. The bluefin were at the banks up till the boats pulled out for the inspection in December. Yeah, dude, that's true. They were pretty much out there. Fixed? Hell yeah. Oh, and delayed again? Dude, that's killing me. I think we're just gonna have to go with it. Unless I do the camera. Let me just try to reset the camera real fast. We'll see if this works. Okay. I know this is great video, huh? Any better? I don't know if I can do much more than that without having to restart the stream, but I don't want to do that nonsense. Might just have to go with the delay, and I do apologize, guys. Let's see, where were we? So yeah, we'll get into a little bit more than that, but I like what your guys' input is on that. So keep it coming. If you fish San Diego, tell me what you think. How long you've been here? How you fished it? What do you think? Let's see in the news. So me and Kevin, we're actually going out. Actually, let me cover some new stuff real quick. Let's see what I got here. Oh yeah, as far as the jigs, slow death jigs, we're in Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, so they're carrying jigs now. They're taking on a lot of the big stuff. So if you guys are up in that area, the Carson area, go check it out. Island Fishing. So shout out to them taking on some slow death jigs. I really appreciate it. And one other thing that I didn't even celebrate. So I was thinking on the stream the other day, or not the stream, I just at home, and I was like, man, I wonder, I was like, how long have I been doing the show? So I was thinking, I got to be coming up on the year, like the anniversaries that I do. I looked up, I was doing this show since June of last year. So like, I didn't even think about it. We've done this way over a year. We didn't even do like a celebration or anything. I probably should have done a giveaway or something. And I looked back and I thought for sure I'd be like coming up to it. I thought, oh, it's maybe this month or like next month, but it was June. It was like the end of June. It was like the day after my birthday or something of last year. We did the show. So we've been here. I think I've missed like 2 shows, and so that's like over 50 shows we've done already. It's just crazy because it seems like I just started doing this thing. It's already been a year, a whole freaking year of the Submission Fishing live show. So shout out to all you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. It came and gone, and already some great memories, and hopefully you guys have learned some stuff. But I just wanted to mention that, get it in, and we just glossed it over and just kept plugging and didn't even think about it. So that's a thing. 1 year already. It's like a year and 2 months. So that's freaking nuts, man. Never would have thought about that. So shout out to all you guys that come in and watch and support the stream. I really appreciate it. Maybe we'll do something next show. I'll have to find something to give away and then figure out how to do that little stupid number generator thing where you put the names in. I don't have my assistant. It's hard, man. It's hard running the show by myself. The baby screwing everything up. I think that's all I had news wise. We got some Instagram questions we can get to. Yeah, me and Kevin are going to, so we're going on a 2.5 day out on the Aztec. So we're leaving Monday, and then we're going, not going to be back till Thursday. So we're leaving Monday night, and then we're not going to be back until Thursday, like Thursday morning or something like that. So that's super exciting. So we're definitely going to go out there and try to get on them. Hopefully do some night fishing too. We're looking for those big tuna, 200, 300 pound cows, trying to land some on these new big jigs, the submission fishing, the slow death jigs. So that's the plan. We're going to be out there, man. 2.5 days, do or die. I think at least we'll get some Dorado and yellowtail, stuff like that. It's going to be freaking awesome. My bet is that we're going to see even better fishing in September. It's about to go off. Yeah, and I know I've said this before many times on the stream. It seems like we're about we're like a month out from where we normally are. Fishing wise, this whole year has been pushed back as far as species showing up and like the weather conditions and water temperatures and stuff like that, which is a good sign because normally, yeah, this type of fishing is like where we would have been in July, and now it's starting to move in, which is good because we've got our thing coming up. So if you guys are going to that, we chartered a whole boat. If you guys don't know, we did have somebody cancel. So we're going out for a full day on the Malahini in September 24th. And it's a lot of guys from this chat. So if you guys are interested, we had a cancellation. I think Chuck had to, the cook, he's a galley cook, and he had some stuff come up. So he's not going to make it, unfortunately. So that leaves a spot open. We just refunded his spot. So if you guys, we might have another spot opening too. I know somebody else, people have stuff come up, they booked a long time ago. So there's another place spot that comes up. It's $300 if you want to join us. You're gonna get custom shirts. We're gonna have giveaways and fishing. So hopefully this fishing sticks around, man, and it'll be freaking awesome. We crush some pelagics for sure. Send them to LA Fishing Alliance. What's that? The jigs? Tell me you want them. As soon as the bait is gone, the fish are going to be starving and much bigger. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really think about that. Well, yeah, the fish will be bigger for sure because they're eating. It's crazy how fast they grow. That's a good point. And somebody was saying, gosh, what did I hear this last year about how like the fish were competing, and that's when you start to see them like in the mix, like the yellowfin come up, and then they start fighting the other fish, and the bite goes stupid. That's exactly what you're saying because the bait is short. So one of the problems that we're running into now with the bite is that you guys are seeing. So this is just something that you guys know is going on, is that there's hundreds of thousands of Dorado and stuff out there, right? But sometimes the bite is really, really slow. And because that is that you see them, but they're getting hard to catch because they eat so much, and then they become lethargic, and they're not really predatory. They just kick it. So you'll see them in there. And I've been hearing that from a lot of people. Of course, when you get them during their feeding time or when they're ready to go, you can catch them. But a lot of people are seeing these Dorado under patties or just in the open, but they're kicking it. They're not eating because they've just eaten so much bait. The bait is so plentiful. They're just going ham on it. And Kevin's right. Once that bait thins out and another month goes by, that's when the bite gets good because they're absolutely insane to eat. So when they're hungry and the bait is thinned out, yeah, that's what Kevin was saying. You just throw anything out there. I'm hoping September will be good. They'll thin out the bait a little bit, and then, yeah, anything you throw out there. I mean, I've been Dorado fishing a couple years ago where it was like right when the boat pulled up, there was just hundreds under the boat, just going absolutely ham. And it was late September. Me and Jessica actually went out there. It was a couple years ago, and it was just nuts. It didn't matter what you threw out there. It was like you were getting smoked. The second it hit the water, like you got bit. And I think it was that same type deal. Yeah, he agrees. I hope so, man. That'll be good. That's good insight, Kevin. I have heard that before. It makes perfect sense. Crazy the years. Yeah, dude. It has been nuts. And this year's already almost over, right? That's what's even stupider is like freaking more than half the year. It's already August, man. It's already fucking 4 months till Christmas. Where does it go, man? Where does it go? What is a good trolling speed for the Dorado? Right now it's been slow trolling. I don't know like what the speed is. Probably I'd say 10 knots or so. It's probably a good speed. You don't want to be going too fast. Everybody I talk to says slow trolling could be slower. They're just buzzing by patties, letting them do their work. Also, it depends on the lure you're using. So if you're using a high speed lure, you can go a little faster. You know, if you're using a big lip one, you're probably going to slow down so it doesn't, go too crazy. So I think it's probably more lure than anything. I know everybody's been the Mad Mac has been the ticket, and I think you can go a little bit faster with those ones. But slow, I'd say 10 knots or under. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's what I've been hearing. Wow, flew by. Yep. What a difference a week made. Yeah, Arnie, you and Dan went out. Dude, you guys totally did miss it. That sucks, man. It was like it just slapped on like that week. It was literally like 2 days after you guys went out. It just went crazy. Ooh, so let's go. 1 year. If you guys see those emotes, man, these are the members. So if you guys want to consider being a member, you can do that on the channel. Get some belts next to your name, get some custom emotes. You get some other perks too. So I really appreciate that if you guys are interested. Troll at 7 miles an hour for Dorado and tuna. There you go. Question solved. Killer crew on that boat. Only bummer about the cattle boats. It's all the helmets on board. Too crowded most times. Yeah. We're keeping our trip to like 30 people. So we're not going to have like a loaded boat. Trying to keep it down. Even though that thing holds like 50, 60 people. It's pretty crazy. We're not going to get too wild with it. Definitely like limited load for sure. That's why I'm keeping like the trips kind of limited, or the spots limited on the trip we're doing. I showed a couple years of ocean fishing. It's better than I've seen. Yeah, dude, it's been great. It's been good. 2020 was good. 2021 I think kind of sucked. Although for tuna 2021 was good. But aside from that, it wasn't that great. But yeah, this year has been pretty good. Fishing reps tell the shops you want to take on Submission Fishing Company inventory, that you want the product to purchase in stores, and let them know fishing reps and who they need to talk to. Yeah. For you guys that don't know, fishing reps, he reps our product. So, and if you're new to the channel, I make jigs, slow death jigs from 20 gram up to 600 grams. So check them out. Got them in tackle stores. We sell them online. You guys know the drill. Sorry I'm late. Your daughter was having a moment. You tell her she's not going to go on that boat if she keeps acting up. She's going to be landlocked her whole life. Nomad DTX mackerel trolling is all money. Money in the yak. Yeah. That was good, man. That was like the trolling thing a couple years ago. Saw a few man max for sale for $200. Yeah, because they freaking sold out. Then nobody had them. The supply and demand right there, dude. People just scalping those things. That was crazy. Yeah, you remember that? But if you guys are like, so a lot of people are new to fishing in like 2020. Fishing really blew up because of the government shut everything down, kicked us all in the balls. So fishing actually took off. And I know a lot of people, even in this chat, really started fishing like 20. I started kayak fishing in 2020. I'd been fishing prior, but like getting into kayak fishing, I was relatively new too. So it was like this huge boom. It was one of the few things that we can do. But those of you guys that don't know, when you get on boats now, and one of the good things about the whole government lockdown thing, one of the few good things is that the boats had to reduce themselves, and they raised prices of the tickets, which I think is totally worth it. So by regulation, right, they were cramming people in like sardines into these things. These boats that we were on had like 50, 60 people. So they started doing limited loads. They cut it in half, 25, 30 people. They would charge a little more for the tickets. But they've kept that from, even though the regulations are gone. Almost every single boat I've been on now keeps the limited load. And I'd pay double price for a ticket to have less people on a boat. And I think that's what they've been doing. And it's been awesome. So that's like actually one of the byproducts that it kind of came out of necessity so they can keep fishing, but they've stuck with it. So if you just started fishing in the last couple of years and you go on these party boats and there's 30 people, and it seems like a lot, right? You guys are going to be like, oh, dude, these boats are so crowded. There's 30 people on these boats. Dude, hell no. These boats used to be packed with, just think about this, double the amount of people on these boats. So you bump into people now, but this was like, you literally were like shoulder to shoulder with your reel. It was like, to get in a spot on the rail, you had to like squeeze in or like stand sideways to get your thing. It was freaking ridiculous. I can't tell you how many years I fished like that too. And I just thought it was normal. And the first time I went on one of these limited load boats, it was like, oh, this is so freaking awesome. And now I got my own boat and I'm like, I don't want to go on these boats with anybody. I'm like, I don't want to go with 15 people on a boat. It's crazy. It makes a difference. If people know how to fish, it makes all the difference in the world. So like most people going on our trip are pretty experienced. So it's like, it won't be as bad. Even if you've never been on a boat, you know how to fish. It's not gonna be a big deal. But a lot of people go on and it's just like, they have no concept about like following their line or where to stand. And it's chaos, man. This stuff gets tangled up. But I think we'll do good. I don't think we're going to have that problem. Yeah, dude. Fernando knows, man. The struggle was real. Benji Moreno, welcome to the show. Yeah, dude, we went with you on the jig strike. Yeah, that was good. That was a good load for sure. Shoots Bugger used to run 70 on it. Just think about that. Crazy, man. What were we thinking? What were we thinking? Not what were we thinking. What were they thinking? And just this practical logic, right? Get as many people as you can. But yeah, I mean, I'd easily pay more for that ticket. They have no clue because I believe the San Diego held 75. Nuts, man. Yeah, 30 is a lot. It's still a lot. I agree. And to think that we were doing double that is freaking insane. And now we're spoiled, right? Now we're like, oh, it's too many people. But it's like, you got to remember the old days, dude. And then you appreciate the 30 people. I think it all depends on the skill level of the people on your boat, though, for sure. Because I've been out with 30 people that knew what they were doing, and it was like not a problem at all. And you just go out on some random trip and you don't know, people are new. It's tough, man. It really is. Captain Dan, I took 55 people out one day on the Spirit of Adventure. Yeah, those deckhands earn their money, dude. That's crazy. I'm glad that died. Best time, 12-person limited load. Yeah, dude. Was it a big boat too? That's freaking awesome. Daily double, half days usually carry 65. Yeah. You guys know, man, the struggle is real. What's the farthest you've been out on a kayak? I don't know, 6 miles. I've gone pretty far on the Hoya. The farthest we've traveled. So if you want to join us, I don't know if you kayak fish, but we do this thing called the pickle run. So the farthest distance we do is we start from Mission Bay. We did this last year, and then we go all the way down to San Diego Bay. And that took us, 12 hours? Maybe more. Like that was a long trip. We paddled the whole way, and we hit the kelp beds. We went all the way down the coastline, and that was probably the longest trip I've done. It wasn't as far out to sea because we were still probably 2 miles off the coast, but we stayed in that kelp beds, and then we went around and we did a lot of fishing. So if you're interested in that, September, I forget what day, it was on a Fishy Hour show. So that's a live show. So check his out. He had the dates. I didn't get to catch it yesterday, but I know that's happening. Somebody in here, I'm sure, knows. But I've gone pretty far out in La Jolla where it was like, you look back and it's annoying because then, you got to paddle back, when you're fishing, especially if the current's with you and you're relaxing and you're going out there. And then when it's time to call it a day and you're just like, oh my God, I do not want to go back right now. And it takes you 2-3 hours just to paddle back. Check it out, man. If you want to go, Pickle Run. Pickle Run's the longest, I think, for sure, distance-wise. Went out on the Sea Watch, 26 people, 23 people at the bait and take every stop. Me and 2 other chucking jigs up front. Go buy these slow death jigs. Ooh, tell him, Graham. Yeah, dude, we don't mess around with bait. I don't fish bait. That's one of the things, too. Everybody, when the boat stops, and it's like, oh, and you hear the anchor going down, you're like, oh, no, everybody rushes to the bait tank. Of course, you don't anchor up usually when you're looking for these pelagics if you're so deep, but when the motor makes, because they cruise, they usually cruise at like 10 to 11 knots. And everybody knows the sound because when they throttle down, everybody stands up. They're in the galley. They're like sitting around the thing. And it's funny because when you hear the throttle go down or the boat starts to turn, everybody stands up at the same time. And yeah, they grab the rods, they run to the bait tank. Just throw jigs on, man. Definitely. There's no need for bait. You don't get dirty. You're not waiting at the tank. You don't have to rechange bait. I did a whole show on that once. Like, live bait works. I mean, nothing against live bait. It's just, I like being in the water quick, like Graham was talking about. 50 plus, dude, easy. So much room. When is the pickle run? It's in September. Is it September 24th? Oh, shoot, guys. That's when the trip is. That's when the submission at sea is. So I guess I'm not going on the pickle run this year. Yeah, that was bad timing. I'll see if we got to be able to move that. I'll talk to Roman and Brian, unless they're like totally locked up on that time, but that's the day we're going out. Charter Challenge, Lotus 24, nice. No, is it, you're saying, I thought you said it was. No, September 24th is that's when my boat's going out. Yeah, we're going on the Malahini for the day, the submission at sea. Oh, the 10th, if Kevin is available that day. So the 10th of September. Yeah, we'll see. If you guys need a boat, I can be the boat guy too. If you guys need a backup boater. I don't have to, because I did it on the kayak. It was fun. I'd like to do it on the kayak, but if you guys need a boater too, because I know Brian wants to go on the kayak. So if need be, I can be the boat. I can be the boat backup. Take somebody out with me. I'm down. I use an inflatable. Yeah, dude. Whatever you got. We do not discriminate. If you've got the chops, we got the time. So yeah, it looks like from right now, September 10th is the pickle run. That'd be cool if you showed up. Okay, let's see what we got here. Got a couple questions. What was it? Oh yeah, so we were talking about like the best fishing ever, and Kevin says it is. Coach says no. But one of the things I did want to talk about is the reason why I wanted to bring that up is mostly because you guys, I just want you to understand that you got to go out and fish. If you could just find a half day, you got to go out and do it, because we're not guaranteed the same fishing. We're not guaranteed the same fishery every year. Lots of things are at play. Like right now we have the La Nina coming in, and usually what that does is it pushes the cold water in. It's like a cold water cycle from the equator up South America, and then we get the El Nino, which pushes the warm water up. And these currents, they have a big change on, and sometimes they affect the fishing permanently. Like you take the short fin corvina that we have in the bays, San Diego Bay, Mission Bay, those came in when El Nino came in, and before that there was no short fin corvina. They came in during an El Nino. I think it was 1997, if I remember correctly. The water got warm. They followed the stream up Mexico, and they came into our bays, and they basically just live in the bays now. They went into South Bay, San Diego, where it was warm, and still they stick in the shallow water. Usually around like sometimes 2 to 10 feet, where it's shallow South Bay, and they're in Mission Bay too. Um, and those were fish that were never here, and so they've kind of made it their own fishery. But that was not a fish indigenous to San Diego, and now they've arrived. So El Nino came in and changed. And prior to that, years before, we didn't have bluefin fishing. I know we've talked about this before, but we had albacore fishing, and wahoo would come up closer. And albacore was like, that's what you fish for in San Diego. Or the blackfin tuna, it was that was your fishery. They came in, they would eat anything, and that's kind of what San Diego was known for. Well, now we don't get the albacore tuna at all. So the albacore moved up. They went up north, and now it's weird because they kind of stay up north and they don't come this far south anymore, even though they used to be like the San Diego staple. And then there's this transition where you didn't have the tuna, right? The albacore left, but nothing like really took its place. There was a point a couple years ago where you can get wahoo pretty close off the nine, like where the Dorado was, and that's a fish that's south and a lot in like Hawaii and stuff like that, so far west. And so we had the wahoo, and then we had the albacore. Both of those species, you can still get some wahoo if you go way far out there, or every now and then they'll come up if you go like southwest. The albacore are north, and they might come back. They probably will, but the cycles are cyclical, And right now we've got bluefin, and it's not a guarantee that they're going to stay around, and it's not a guarantee the Dorado are going to stay around, or the yellowfin, or even the bite, as good as it is. When you get these water changes, they change things in the ocean, and sometimes they change things permanently or semi-permanently. Uh, the bluefin weren't always a thing here. They've become the staple in San Diego, and that just wasn't always a thing, and it's not guaranteed to be a thing. And when you see these Dorado popping off, the yellowtail, the bluefin, all in the mix at one time, I know Kevin always talks about it. Sometimes you like the title, is this the best fishing ever? Maybe not, but maybe it is. It's definitely one of those times where you want to get out and say you got a part of it. You want to have one of those conversations to be like, dude, remember 2022 when the Dorado were just going, there was tens and thousands of them off the nine, and there was bluefin biting, and there was yellowtail on every patty. Now's the time to get out and do it. Because you're not guaranteed. It's not like, oh, summer's here and we're gonna go hook up on fish, or it's wintertime. Things change, guys, and sometimes the fish don't come back, and maybe they will, but sometimes it's decades. Do the albacore come back down south? I mean, maybe, but I'd rather have the bluefin than the albacore, to be honest with you. The hell with albacore. Everybody wants the bluefin, but if the bluefin leave, right, you want to at least say, hey, I was here. Like, I remember 20 years ago in San Diego, we were catching bluefin, these 200-pound bluefin, and you're going to have pictures and people might not believe you. Hopefully they stay and they don't ever leave, but it's not a guarantee. So that's what I'm talking about. The fishing, is it the best in San Diego? It's pretty close. I think it's debatable is the thing. Some people will say no, but it's pretty debatable as far as what you fish for might depend on that. Maybe you are an albacore guy, so it's not the best, but just want you guys to get out there and experience it, because we're experiencing like the La Nina coming in, and that's usually indicative of colder water, even though the water's been ridiculously warm. If you guys looked up on temp break, it's like 74 degrees all the way up from like Newport down. It's just super hot right now. But yeah, we don't always get those turns. You don't always get El Nino, and you don't always get La Nina, and that's what mixes things up. So it makes it interesting. So yeah, that was just a reminder, guys, to go out there and get it, man. Like, just don't wait. And don't just be like, oh, we'll go get them next year. There might not be a next year. Nothing is guaranteed, Those of you guys that even fish in the bays realize that fish don't. And the bay fish are even a lot more predictable. Like the spotties are going to be there, right? The halibut are going to be there, but they're in different places, and even they move within season to season. So you got to go find them, man. Go dig them out. Go get them while you can. Brian likes to fish. I've never caught a Dorado. That's because you're too busy catching spotties, dude. When the spotty world champion of the world does not have time to catch a Dorado. Well, yeah, let's go do it, Brian. Like I said, we're going out. Or you can go out. They're not far, dude. Your boat, no problem. I mean, they're like at the 9 freaking everywhere. But we should do a trip. We should do another Armada. I know we went out earlier this year looking for bluefin, but we saw some and we had a chance at them, but I know none of us hooked them. But let's go out there and get them. Me and Kevin are leaving. Oh, September 10th is the pickle run. Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, let's definitely maybe do another fleet trip. I get back Thursday, but maybe even that next week, dude. Let's go. Let's go hammer them. Could always have enough Dorado. Dude, Dorado were fun, man. They're awesome fish, I think. They're beautiful. They're fast. They fight good. They're good eating. It's a lot of fun. Oh my God, I just found a Dorado in my back from Monday. Dude, are you serious? Or you just left it behind or what? That's funny. It's just aged, dude. Aged Dorado. Just grill it up. Cut it up. Throw some seasoning on it. That fish is green for the wrong reason. Yeah, but they're beautiful fish. Yeah, he's not wrong. What was it Coach was talking about? How he used to take all the tuna corpses and throw them in his garden and they just like spring like crazy. Early 2000s for albacore. Yeah, dude. So I wasn't fishing in San Diego at that time. When I was just going like out of Newport with my family like twice a year. My uncles would take me out. So we never, like, I don't think I fished San Diego boats. It was till after like 2009. It was definitely later. So I totally missed the albacore bite. But what do you think, Fernando? Do you miss the albacore bite? Do you wish it would come back or do you like it like as it is? Or would you prefer like to lose one to not have the other? I know everybody wants the bluefin, but bluefin are hard to catch, man. I think they're a pain in the ass. I like having the Dorado every year for sure. It's super fun. Love to catch an Ono one of these days. That would be pretty freaking awesome. Oh, the triggerfish. Oh, interesting. Triggerfish also came up into the El Nino. I don't think I knew that. I don't see too many triggerfish up here. I know they were. I know somebody was catching them up in like Newport, but that's a long ways to go. I'm sure they are here, but I've never really targeted them. But yeah, I have heard the triggerfish here, but I didn't know they came up at that same time. Did they come up in like the one with 97, or was it a different time zone? There's no burying this. Dude, that's the best one. The more rotted, the better. Is your kill bag ruined? Dude, sometimes you can't get that corpse smell out. It's freaking bad. It's like that smell of death for like animals and stuff. It's like that decay. It's like it almost never comes out, dude. Rest in peace, Kevin's kill bag. Labor Day weekend, fishing hard out of Newport. Hope the Dorado stay up north. I hope so, dude. I hope so. I think they will. It's best because we have crazy, insane volume of bluefin, nice 50 to 300 pound, along with the insane Dorado and the low. Yeah, I think that's what you were talking about. What I was talking about too. Like, that's unheard of, dude. The Dorado with the bluefin, with the yellowtail. That's nutso. Like, normally the bluefin are gone or they've rotated out. At least the last couple of years, the bluefin, they rotate up and then they go out, usually west to like Tanner and stuff. Like, they kind of were sticking around, but I've never seen Dorado. And then the Dorado push up with the yellowfin, and then the yellowtails usually stay on the patty too a little bit. But seeing all these species at once, I'm seeing boats that have bluefin, Dorado, yellowfin, and yellowtail, all 4 of those species on one boat. That's freaking nuts. Any one of those fish is like could be a bucket list fish for somebody, right? Like, any one of those could make somebody's day. The opportunity to catch like 4 of those. Imagine catching all 4 of those on one trip. That's nuts. And this is an opportunity to do it. That's why it's like, is it the best time to fish? It might be. I've never heard of anything like that. Because normally you're like, oh, we're going to go out for Dorado. Oh, we're looking for bluefin. Now it's like, because when the captain, me and Kevin are going out on this 2.5 day, and the captain's like, bring something for everything. They're like, he's bring the 2040 and then bring something for huge bluefin. It's like, that's crazy. That many setups. That's freaking awesome. Take your shot while it's here. That's right. You going to submission at sea, Brian? Or are you just going to go out this weekend? Do it, dude. Do it. They're right there. They're right there. Your boat, no freaking problem, dude. They're freaking everywhere. There's a sticker that says on my boat says 10-person capacity. Yeah, my boat says like 8 people too. And I'm like, where are you going to put 8 people? I don't know what they're smoking. 3 people on my boat is like the limit. 2 people's good. 3 people if you know how to fish. Other than that, I probably wouldn't take more than have 3. Even though it's got a good fishing deck, but like if you got to cast and stuff, if you were rock fishing, I'd take like 8 people. But yeah, it's a little tough when you got to cast out. Dorado were fun, dude. They jump out of the water. If you guys haven't caught one, they jump out of the water sometimes, and it's like, it's badass. It's pretty cool. They got good fight to them. They're good. It's like they got everything, and they're good eating. Like great picture fish, dude. When you hold one of those up, it's like they're badass. They look so exotic and tropical. Take the picture early though, guys. I mean, that's a tip for you. So if you guys catch a Dorado, do your picture before you put it in the bag, because once they die, they lose all that pigment in their color. So if you set in, like, a lot of times you go on these trips and you put them in the bag and then afterwards you hold them up, take a picture before you bag it. Because once they start bleeding out and they're dying, you're going to pull that thing out and it's like gray. They lose all that blue and the green and the yellow. So take a picture when it's fresh. If you want like that super bright, like vibrant picture, once they lose that pigment, I mean, it's still cool, but it's not going to look as badass. It's not going to be as good for the Insta. Ooh, Aunt Cindy is visiting, watching. Aunt Cindy, good to hear from you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. All dodos yesterday. Yeah, man, everybody has. How was it? That's awesome, dude. Hard to want albacore when you have. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a good trade. Even though the albacore were cool, but the hell with albacore, dude. They're not even like, they're okay. Like, they're okay eating, but they're not as good as bluefin. Point Loma is loaded with triggerfish. Oh, interesting. I've just never heard of anybody targeting triggerfish. The ones they got those funky teeth, right? Where they're like, they look like they got buck teeth or whatever. I've seen them. Interesting. Are they like a good fighting fish, or probably not? That's probably why I haven't heard of anybody really catching them. We have triggers in Carlsbad. Well, there you go. I live in Carlsbad. I didn't know we have triggerfish in here. Apparently, they're not a big game fish because I don't really see anybody catching them. That's funny. Oh, funny catch. I guess triggerfish is a thing. Maybe we got to have a triggerfish competition so you can catch the biggest triggerfish. That'd be fun because I've never caught one before. Just to target them would be pretty cool so you can catch the biggest one. Like going to the grocery store, awesome variety of kelps, lunchbox. Hi, Jessica. It's Alexis. Hope all as well. Oh, we got the side chats going on. Yeah, Steven, you're going out tomorrow. And I had your questions, so we can go over some of those, the Instagram questions. I know you asked, because we got a lot of people in here that would know better than me. Kevin's probably the guy to ask. He said, what artificial bait are the Dorados eating? I'm going out tomorrow. He asked that on Instagram. I think right now your Surefire is probably going to be like a surface iron. I hear like a light surface irons, like some of the light. I know that small kicker, the ones Kevin's been fishing, and he's been telling me like fish it fast, like on the top, and almost like you were skipping it like on the surface. And I think that was the ticket. Bring some 60 grams. Try them, cast them. Like I know, who was it? Dondo's fishing in here, caught 5 yellowtail on this exact color and this style on this 60 grams. So he caught 6 yellowtail on those things. So I'd definitely bring one of those just in case. Yeah, surface iron for sure. I would make sure you get your slow pitch ready, and then live. Don't waste your time with the fly line. Surface irons, some casting jigs, and maybe like a 130 setup, 130 gram slow pitch, but definitely surface irons. Because I even asked about poppers. I don't think poppers are going off for whatever reason. I think maybe that's a bluefin thing. Let's see here. I've got to work at Disneyland this weekend, but next weekend I'll be on it. Yeah, dude, let's maybe plan on next weekend. Might have the tuna flu though next week. Yeah. Get it, dude. It gets everybody this time of year. Sometimes I had one of my guys take off a day and he was like, I'm going to go fishing. I was like, all right, I can't fault you for that. Take the day off. They fight all right. Tastes really different. The meat is sweet. The meat's good. Yeah, they're not like super hard fighters, but they're like really acrobatic fighters, like jumping out of the water and like how they take the bite. They're fun fish for sure. But yeah, they're not like tuna level. Even bonito, dude, big bonito, or like they'll kick your ass. They're not tuna fighters, but no, I don't think so. They have their own taste. I think it's kind of like a mild sweet. Like they're good, but I don't know if I wouldn't say like crab. At least that's my opinion. I actually got a triggerfish before. How was the fight? Was it fun or was it just like whatever? Do you think it was a perch or something? Yeah, so they're eating the skip jig kicker 15L. Yeah, and get your micro jigs because the bait's pretty small right now, guys. So you don't want to go too crazy with a big monster bait because what they're eating isn't super gigantic. So make sure you're definitely set up with something small or smaller than like a big Donkey Kong style jig. Probably not gonna be your best bet. They're better than people think, salty and not just for ceviche. Yeah, they're nice fillets. I mean, mahi, you always see it in the restaurants. Like it's good stuff. Oh yeah, Dondos, he's in here. He knows the secret. I don't fish bait anymore, my man. You know how it goes, right? It's like rat or die. If they're eating bait, they're gonna eat the jigs. You know what I mean? I've never seen like bait out fishing jigs, but I've seen jigs out fishing bait. If that makes sense. If they eat the live bait, they're gonna eat jigs. But you can't work live bait like you can work a jig. And I think that's the difference when the bite is slow. I guess slow pitch jigging, that's the whole point. Being able to manipulate an artificial in a way that a live bait can't. Hell yeah, Carl, my man. That's what I'm talking about. Go get those jigs. Let's see. Could take my A-rig, see if dude, I think you could. Oh, double Dorado? Yeah, I bet you could. If you got them in the eating, it's September, you probably could. I almost guarantee you would. I don't know if your A-rig would survive unless it's made out of like 10 gauge steel. That's pretty funny. I like mahi. Well, there you go. That's what Dorado is. It's mahi. It's the same thing. You can call them mahi. It's the same fish. So if you like mahi, you love that Dorado. Let's see here. What else we got? Big Water said throw slow death jigs with the slow pitch rod for yellowtail or with the iron rods. I would throw like a so if you're talking about like throwing one of these 60s, definitely do like an M1 inshore, like a decently heavy, like a rod that'll cast 1 to 3 gram jigs. I think it'd be perfect. Even like a long fall rod that has backbone because you want to be able to cast it. And then when you retrieve it, just let it drop. Retrieve it, let it fall. Retrieve it, let it fall. Just like reel it in, free spool it, reel it in, free spool it, and it'll come in and then it'll flutter. Then it'll reel in and flutter. But to be able to cast it, yeah, you don't want a slow pitch rod because you won't get it that far. But if you just want to go vertical, just under the boat, just bring your a slow pitch rod. That way you can work it. So do both. I would definitely do both. But if you're going to cast it, get something stiffer. So something you could fire. You probably don't need like a jig rod. It's a little too heavy. It'll work. I mean, I've done it before, 60 gram on my jig stick. So if that's all you got, I think that'll definitely work. I mean, give it a go, dude. Let's see here. Still waiting on those Taipan rods, man. That's going to be the ticket right there. Jig Junkies. Oh, yeah, we already got your question. Chris Arshadera, no question, just saying sup. What's going on, dude? Shout out CCA podcast. Good to see you, Chris. Oh, and Doc Talk podcast. Go check it out. Let's see. How are you retrieving micro jigs? This is from D Mendoza 72. How are you retrieving micro jigs casting from the shore, Mission Bay, San Diego Bay? Just cast it out as far as you can, or target it if you know there's grass or something. Let it hit the bottom, and you're just gonna lift your rod and reel. There's a lot of ways you can fish them. So basically, it's gonna sit, hit the ground. You're gonna pull it up. So when you lift your rod, it's gonna come up probably 6 feet up in the water column. Just yank it towards yourself and reel it, and then let it fall, and it'll flutter down. It'll come up and it'll flutter down, and you just keep working it up, flutter, up, flutter. Every lift, you're lifting it like 6 feet. That's like the most basic way. It's not like where an underspin, you hit the bottom and you stay on the bottom or near the grass, and it's a steady retrieve. You're actually popping it, waiting, popping it, waiting. Or a Ned rig, is another thing where you just cast it, you drag it on the bottom. You want to lift it so you get that same flutter. Lift, flutter, lift, flutter. Make sure you're hitting the bottom every time. Another way too is you can just retrieve it and it'll swim, but then stop and let it flutter down. Then retrieve it, let it swim, flutter down. The pause and the flutter on the way down is really the key. That's where you're going to get bit. You can do it with the reel and retrieve. You can do it, with the pops. And that's the beauty of it, is you can find a cadence. There's really no right way. Sometimes you go jerk, jerk, reel, jerk, jerk, reel. Sometimes you do a high lift, let it fall, high lift, let it fall. Sometimes reel it in, stop it, let it tension fall. Reel it in, stop it, let it tension fall. But I think just making contact with the bottom every now and then is definitely the key. So off the ground, make sure you hit contact with the bottom. Off the ground, make sure you hit contact with the bottom. And then from there, just find a cadence that works. As the two-time Spotty World champion Brian likes to fish would say, find the pattern. Find the pattern that works, and then just stick with it for the day. Sometimes I'll pull it, instead of going up, I pull it laterally across my body. So I'll turn and pull it that way, and then I'll free spool it. So instead of coming up with it, I don't know if that makes sense, I turn my body sideways, keeping the rod kind of level, and that way it pulls it a little more flat with the water. It just all depends what you're looking for. But yeah, give it a shot. There's really no wrong way. And our saltwater slayer, sometimes in here, he kills it from shore. Kevin fishes them from shore a lot too. I catch a lot of little short halibuts for some reason with it. But I got some big sand bass, big spotties too in the middle of the bay doing it like that. You can bomb these things too, like freaking 100 yards. So you can definitely cover some ground for sure. I'll bust out the page 1D rig special for the Dorado. Yeah, dude, you got to rig something big. You probably get a Ford Dorado A rig. Carl Black, me too, out of Newport for Dorado Labor Day. Nice, dude. Hopefully you guys go slay it. Live bait's all about selection. Yeah, live bait works, dude, for sure. You got to get the lively one. You got to let it swim. Got to know how to hook it. Just the only thing about live bait is like you don't like when you throw it in and it just like swims under the boat and you're just like, oh my God. You throw a new one in and you throw it and it turns around and comes back out. You're just like, dude. But when you get that one that hits the boat and goes away from the boat and just runs, and you get like, it's just taking the line off, you're like, hell yeah, this guy's gonna get bit. Live bait works, dude, 100%. That's why people use it. It's kind of like the bulletproof way. It's always good to have some sort of setup for live bait. See if we had any more questions. Fishing Reps wants to know how many bluefin are in the Pacific Ocean. According to Google, 1.6 million. That's where I do my research. But I think that number's off. And we were having some debate about that. Some guy was mad about fishing bluefin on Kevin's Instagram. And he was saying they were all endangered and the robots were going to take over or something. And he Googled the number and said there was 1.5. I was like, how do you know that? There's probably like 1.5 million bluefin just in San Diego right now. Seriously. These things swim like 3,000 feet deep. How do you measure that? Like, you don't know if they're there. You're making guess based on what you can see, like up on the surface and all that. Sometimes these things don't even come up and they can swim freaking deep. Like, there's no way to count. They're probably counting foamers and then guessing like how many they see. There's no number. There's no way to know. You asked the fisherman. It's pretty healthy. Bluefin fishing is pretty healthy right now. I think that's all we had. Got the questions. Talked about El Nino, La Nina, the trips coming up. So yeah, guys, just get out there. So if you got any more questions, let me know. I'll read up some of these final chats. And if not, we'll call it a night. Let's see. Fried anchovies are the bomb. I don't know if I've had them fried. I like anchovies in stuff. It's pretty good. But never I've had them like just by themselves. Let's see here. Yeah, dude, you can cast with that because it's a longfall rod, but it's also a stick bait rod. So I take my longfall rod, I cast that thing. It's a great casting rod. Depending which size you got, I've got 2 sizes, but it's got a lot of backbone. You can cast the hell out of that. That's perfect, dude. For like a 60 gram, 40 and 60 gram, that's money, dude. Let's see here. I'm over live bait. I even took the trash can bait tank out of my boat last weekend. Dang. It's savage. You're like Kevin. Fishing Reps took his out too. It was freaking funny. I got one on my boat. I've already used it because I know people. If I can take people out and they want to use live bait, but it's a good like live well if you want to keep something alive too. It's good to have that bait tank. But yeah, it is just right in the middle, kind of taking up space. Fast burn, free spool, popping the rod a few times, then repeat. That's what I was doing on the boat. Nice. So fast burn, free spool. That's perfect. Popping the rod. Yeah, dude, just using that super erratic. Yeah, that bait was probably just dancing like crazy. That's a good technique. Caught a ton of fish from. Oh, so you were using it too. Caught a ton of fish from shore during spotted bowl using the slow pitch jigs. Awesome, dude. Oh, fishing the secret way. Yeah, I know the secret way. I'm not going to reveal your secrets. I'll let you reveal the secret. But I know it. I'll keep it close to my heart. When you're ready to reveal it, Brian, I'll let you do that. Just got my slow pitch jigs rest yesterday. Super stoked. Fast shipping. Thanks, buddy. Hey, dude, no problem. Thanks for ordering some jigs. I really appreciate it, man. I know you're going to get bid on them. Send the pictures. That's what I love more than anything, dude, is seeing seeing the pictures of people getting bid on these things is like, it's just the coolest thing ever. Like, even if I'm not catching, like watching you guys catch on these things it's badass. Oos. Yeah, guys, I think that's all I got. If you have any other questions, we'll wrap up the show. Thanks for joining. Like I said, go out there and fish, guys. Fishing is great. We don't have much time. We don't know if it'll return. I hope we do have time. That's really what I wanted to say. Hopefully we have the time, but we don't know. Since we don't know, go out there and fish. Go make the most of it. Thanks for hanging out. If you guys want to become a channel member, please consider it. Help the channel out. Slow Death Jigs. We're in tackle stores. Shark Bait. Islands. Was it Island Tackle? I should have wrote that down. Kevin knows. Hogan's and Tackle Express. Yeah, up north. And hopefully we'll be down here in San Diego. We got jigs for sale online, so go check that out. If you want to do submission at sea, there's a place that just opened up. So if you want a spot and you want to join us, come slay some of these things. Yeah, dude, come hop on board. $300 for a ticket. And if not, it's all good, guys. This show will be free. And just thanks for the support. And let's just get our black belts, guys. That's why we're here. Just one step closer, inch by inch. We help each other get better. And that's what it's all about, guys. So see you next time. Thank you for the 1 year. Maybe we'll do a little celebration next week. And you guys are awesome. Oos.